Figma recently added a new feature called Motion, and this feature will help designers create better animations or micro interactions. So before now, designers use tools like After Effects to create advanced animation or even micro interactions. So with this addition, it will be faster and easier for designers to create better animations without leaving Figma. So I know you might be wondering the difference between Smart Animate and Motion. So the difference is that the Smart Animate is a reactive type of animation, while the Motion is a proactive type of animation. So let's say we have a button on the screen and the button requires users to hover on it for the color to change or the text size to increase. That is a reactive type of animation that falls under the Smart Animate. And let's say we have a section on the page that requires elements to fly in or elements to fade or maybe something to float on the screen. That is a proactive type of animation. So the proactive ones does not require interaction, it just happens without anyone interacting with it. Let me show you how to use the motion feature here in Figma. So the first thing I need to do is to toggle the motion feature. I'll click here, and then once I click that, it toggled the timeline view where I get to see the animation I apply to elements. And then this is where you get to play the animation. This is where you get to loop the animation if you want it to continually play. So the next thing I'll need to do is to select an element that I want to animate. I'll start off with this element. I want it to slide in from the left. So I'll come over here, click on this animation menu. So the cool thing about this is that they already have predefined animations that you can pick from. So if you want to go through the route where you create the animation manually, then you need to make use of what we call the keyframe. So the keyframing method is more advanced, and I will not be able to talk about that here in this video. I would focus more on the predefined animations. So I'll select that element, head over here, click on this menu, and then I'll talk about this first. The position is where an object is and where you want it to be. That is just the position. Let's say you have an object here in location A and you want it to be at location B. You just animate it and then it moves from left to right. You can also move from bottom to top or top to bottom, depends on how you want it. And then we have what we call scale. Scale is used to animate the size of an element or object within a screen. So small objects can be increased, big objects can be reduced, so it depends on what you want. And then we also have the rotation. This is used to tilt elements within the screen. So if you want it to rotate, let's say by 25 degree, you use this. We have what we call size. I've never really used size, so I'll skip this. For the opacity, it has to do with the display of an element from 0 to 100. 0 means nothing will be visible, 100 means 100% visibility. We also have others here that you can use. We have spin, we have float. We use spin and float. These are like animations that you definitely use as a designer, so make use of this as well. So I'll start off by applying the position, and then when I do that, you'd realize that the element here moved off the screen a little bit. So I want it to go off completely, and the way I'll be able to do that is by using the distance feature here, and then I will just increase it by 400. Let's say 400. It's now off the screen. If I play the animation, it will slide in, so you can see the animation in motion. So I'll pause this, and then this is where the loop comes in. You realize that it consistently kept sliding in. It's because the loop is still there, it's active. You can turn it off if you want to by clicking here. So I don't want to turn it off, so I'll not turn it off. So we also have something else I'd like to show you. We have the direction of the animation. So if you've used WordPress before, you know of this direction thing. So you can choose the direction you want this element to slide in from. So it can be from the left or from the right. If I select right and I play, you realize that it came in from the right. So it depends on where you want it to come in from. So I'll pause that and change it from right to left because it looks better that way. So you can also select others here from bottom, from top, top left, whatever option you want. So I'll leave it at this left. This is used to control the offsetting of the element before it comes in. And then this is used to set the delay. If you want it to come in maybe after this element is fully visible, you can use delay. Let's say we want this element to come in after this one is fully positioned within the screen. So we can delay this by, let's say, 200 milliseconds and wait for this to be done before it comes in. So that's the essence of this delay. And then the duration will determine how slow or how fast the animation will play. So if I increase the duration, it will slow the animation. So if I change it to 1000 and play, you realize that it will become slower. So it's now slower than usual. So we also have other things here, other properties that we can use. So we have the easing. So this one is like the delay as well. This one is linear, it's just straightforward. And we have ease in and ease out. So easing means that it will slowly come in and quickly go out. And then the ease out means that it will quickly come in and slowly go out. So that's the difference between both of them. So we have the we have easing and out and easing back. So we also have custom bezier. So this one here is used to create custom movement of the animation. So if you want it to slowly start and quickly end, you can make adjustments using this tool. So I will not be talking about this here. So I'll just switch back to the easing because I want it to slowly come in. So we have the easing applied. So the next element we need to animate is this one here. We'll apply the fade animation to it. So I'll come over here, click on this menu and select opacity. So let me play. You realize that it came in really fast, so I don't want it to come in fast, so I'll extend this. There is another way you can extend it by dragging here the end of the animation to the right or to the left, and then you'll be able to reduce or increase it. So that is how you increase or reduce the duration as well. You don't have to come over here to do that. So let me play once again. So you can see how slow it came in. So everything makes sense now. So the next one I need to do is to animate these elements here. So I'll add the sliding as well from the left, which is the position animation. So sliding, and it will be from the left. This will be, let's say, 500. So the length of this element is longer than the other one, so we have to increase it. I think this is better. So we'll increase the duration as well so that it will be slower and not coming immediately. So if you want to change which one comes in first before the other, you can also do that by moving this animation a little bit, and then play again so that you see what I'm talking about. So that's how you actually use this. So we now have few of them animated. I'll animate this as well. So this one will be the left animation. It will come in from left as well. So let me add that. Position from left, and then it will be, let's say 300. Well, that will be too much. Let's say 200, 250. So we'll increase the speed as well. And then for this other one, we will make use of the opacity. So let me apply the opacity here. So I've applied the opacity and I want it to be slower, so that's why I'm increasing the duration. So the next thing I'll need to do is to test it out. Click on this play button. So I realized that this one did not animate. I don't really know what the issue is. Okay, I did not really apply animation to it. So let me go back and apply animation to this. So I'll go back here, click on this, and then select position. And then I'll offset this by 230. So then I'll increase the duration as well, and then play the animation. So now we have it working. So the next one is this. We'll make it fade in from the bottom. Click on this and then not fading. Although we can even apply fading and position, but I'll just click on position and then I'll choose from the bottom, and then it will fade in from the bottom. Let me increase the length as well, which is the duration. I'll play once again. So you can see the animation is working properly. So the next one I want to do is this element here. I want it to continually spin. So I'll select that, come over here, select the spin and apply it as well. So we have the spin applied. So by default, if I play this, you realize there's this friction that happens. Look how it spins. That's not what we want. we want it to be like constantly spinning. That's what I want right now. So if you want that, click on this and then change it from this custom to linear, and then it will be better. So you can see how better it is after changing from the Bezier. So we have linear applied. The next one you need to do is to slide in this whole element. Let me pause the animation. When the animation is active and you select elements, it will not be visible, so you have to pause it. So I've paused it. I'll select this element, and then the next thing I need to apply is the position animation. I want this to slide in from left, so I'll click on this and then apply the position. I actually thought I was going to type, so apply from right, not from left, and then I will offset this. Let me first of all increase the duration and then offset this. So I want it to be, let me say 500, let me say 600. Okay, this is better. So we'll use ease out and then I'll play the animation. So we have elements animating on the screen. So I'll pause this and then make these ones float. So let me select the elements within this element. So I'll select this. I'll move this indicator to the start of this timeline and then head back here and then apply the floats. So we have the float applied. Let me play. So let me apply here as well. I need float on this as well. Let me first of all move this. The thing about this indicator is that wherever it is, that is where the animation will start from. So I don't want it to start here. I want it to start from 0, 0. So I'll move it backwards and then come over here, select this, and then apply the float to it. So when I apply that and I play the animation, this is what happens. Let me play. You can see. So another thing I would want to do is to animate these elements so that it will come in from left. Do I need to do that? Let me add another animation by clicking this plus here, and then this will be sliding from right. So let me make it 600, 680. So let me play. Let me first of all extend this, and then I'll move back, play the animation once again. So this is how you animate elements inside of Figma. So the thing is, when you want to hand over to developer, they can get the code that will enable them integrate this animation. So there's a way Figma added this. When I switch to code now, I'll be able to copy the code and send it to them. And then if you use AI agents like maybe Claude or Anti-Gravity, you can tell it to read the animation and it will also be able to read it. So I'll be creating a tutorial later on how to use Anti-Gravity to read the data, which is the animation here on Figma. So let me pause this, and then the next thing I want to do is to export this as video. So what we need to do is to select this frame and then scroll down. So we have the animated selected by default. This is MP4. You can choose any format you want, but I'll leave it on this MP4. I'll leave the size on 1x. You can change it if you want to, and then leave everything the way they are. And then I'll click on export Figma Motion. It's open a new tab and render this for me, and then when it is done, I'll be able to download and play it so you can see what it looks like. So it is currently rendering the animation, so we'll wait for it to be rendered completely, and then I'll export it and play it so that you see what it looks like. Okay, so we have our animation ready. So let me export, let me save it. Okay, let me change it. I already have one there. So let me go to my file manager and play the animation. So this is it. Let me play. This is what the animation looks like. That is how you use the motion tool in Figma. If you find this video valuable, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share with someone else who might find this valuable as well. And if you want more content like this, don't forget to follow me and turn on notifications so you get updated when I post more content. Until next time, keep creating.